I know you're all just basically listening to the comic book portion, and I have proof. According to the Discord, somebody helps me do more comic book readings. Yeah. Unfortunately, we still have some more Nightmare Night Nicks to do, so my apologies. So this chapter starts off with a whole entire conversation between Nyx and Spell Nexus that goes nowhere. Other than just reconfirming things that anybody with a PhD in basic English would know. And then we start off with a whole entire karaoke scene. It wouldn't be so bad if it were not for the fact that Sleebell sings that infernal earworm as done by the daughter of Will Smith. You know, that one about her hair and whipping it, that shall not be repeated on this show for the same crime as if you mention a certain meme involving Naruto. You know, the meme that involves info cards and ninjas. Yeah, that's one. So no. But the rest of the songs are pretty cool. We have When You Believe from Prince of Egypt, which for my bunny is probably the third or fourth favorite song I have from there. Number one is Heaven's Eyes, in case you didn't know from Fall Starfleet. Oh, and Apple Bloom had subbed up some of the systems behind her because we need to remind her construction work. And both the singing and construction work helped both Apple Bloom and Sleebell discover their cutie marks because, remember, this was back at the time when we figured that this was going to be obvious as to what their special talents were due to there was that one scene in that one episode where when they did something opposite of what they were really good at, they messed up. Although, this is probably a point of contention, but I do have my reasons for why I both kind of do love, but kind of don't like what happened with the CMC getting their key marks in the end, like how they did. First of all, I kind of do enjoy it, because it was a good way to break both expectations. Boo! Bam! Shut up! That's not exactly a death knell, and you know it. Now, we are going to accept that saying defying expectations is a okay term to use, or else I am going to unleash this on your skulls. For an example of how subverting expectations can be worked and do well, I want to present to you Avatar: The Last Airbender. When we see Aang about to unleash the Avatar spirit, we expect him to unleash it, because that's the way we see it. But then Azula blasts Aang in the back. That's a surprise. We don't expect it. But to me, the CMC getting cue marks that kind of all match and equal each other was kind of a no-win scenario for the writers. Either A, they did this differently and encouraged everybody who's happy that the CMC got their cutie marks to go, yay! Or they give them the cutie marks that everybody's expecting, while there be a small contingent of the fan base that would go, yay! Admit it. If you have watched any amount of fandom, fan base for more than 5 years, like I have, where I've checked out almost so many fan bases and fan history, if they were to give the CMC the cutie marks that we expected them to have, the audience would have been going, oh wow, that is so unique. You gave them their cutie marks that we all saw coming. Who saw this? Or they're just pandering to the fan base. Or, I don't like it. Their cutie marks should have been a little bit different. This is too obvious. While the majority would love it and be happy, the minority would be so fucking annoying that you'd be just left wondering, why am I even talking to these people? They're morons! But I like it because it does symbolize a couple of things. One, that the CMC realize that they are great together. Two, they realize the fact that their best talents are helping each other and helping others. And that is a very noble score. Also, I do like that it's unique in the way that their cutie marks also have different connections. Apple Bloom has one that shows he is good at helping others learn how to construct. Sweet Bell's in music. Skulu is with sports. It helps connect them to a greater world and to each other. It also helps demonstrate how you could still have a cutie mark and still do something you love. I kind of wish that was a little more explored in that than just with that Rumble episode I never watched. What? I have told you guys repeatedly, I stopped watching the show after season 6. Mainly because I feel like season 4 was the best thing you could do. It was the best ending, the best way to drive everybody's characters home. The only thing that was missing was Rainbow Dash getting into the Wonderbolts, and we did that. For my money, I would just take season 4 and just grab the CMC episode and Rainbow Dash getting into the Wonderbolts. Boom, done. And this is speaking as a guy who doesn't mind Starlight all that much. But that's my opinion, and as I've always told people, everybody's opinion is unique, it's special, and seriously, don't take mine as gospel. I don't take mine as being, I'm the only one who's right. Everybody else is right too. Even the morons who rant and complain. The only time I ever lose control is with this guy. What do you mean you lose control of me? Well, what do you think about, say, somebody who actually likes the finale? They suck! That is when I get mad. When you're convinced that your opinion is the only one that's right. And that you are the one who thinks he is the correct, the omega, the alpha, the beginning, the end. And everybody else is beneath you because they don't think the same way you do. That is and will always be wrong. The world is created because we have all these opinions. That being said, again, my only problem is I don't feel like the writers took as much of advantage as they could with this. Instead, the closest thing we get to them taking advantage of is with the aforementioned episode of Rumble. And again, never really saw it, so I'm not really going to offer my opinion. All I could do is just offer what I think from what I've read on the episode summaries, and personally, I think Rumble is a whiny brat who doesn't pay attention to the world around him. Yeah, I said it, and I'm going to stick by it. His opinions sound like a child's that really can easily be broken down to, okay, then why isn't Rarity a minor? But she's not the filly. Trixie had to. She had to. Trixie, one more pun like that and I'm having Brainstar arrest you. Anyway, back to the fic. Spell Nexus has a essential crisis. We got another song from Fluttershy, which sadly the link falters, and I can't really comment on it because I don't know what the song is. More's the pity. We also have Winter July, Queen as a Night. You know, I just had another thought that came to my head about the cutie marks. See, here's the other problem that I think a lot of people were missing when the CMC were talking about getting their cutie marks. They just kept trying different things together, almost as if they wanted similar cutie marks. I wonder if deep down they were afraid if they had separate ones, they wouldn't be together anymore, or they would separate. For them, getting a cutie mark meant all or nothing, get it together as a group, and find their destinies together as one. So really, having them separate cutie marks probably would have been something that would have been more harmful than good to them. Again, this is why I liked it, and I loved that episode. It was a great musical one. I loved them getting their cutie marks, and it was really heartwarming. The only downside is I don't really feel like they followed up as much as they should. Meanwhile, Flares' family finds out that Twist and her family can somehow add changeling nectar, which was a thing earlier, to candy, making everything all better and wrapping everything up in a neat bow. And oh my god, reality check. End this already! God, we're done! Called over. Nyx is found in meeting of Nightmare Night. End! And Inkspot and Twilight have a conversation with each other. Twilight tries to feel down about her being a bad mother, when she's not. And Inkspot trying to cheer her up. And of course, since Inkspot has big dick and is manages to cheer Twilight up. And of course, Twilight figures out who Inkspot is and about all the guards. You know, Twilight, I think you should be a little more pissed off at Celestia than you are about the whole guard thing. I mean, really, Twilight. You just found out and been told that your mother figure, Celestia, not only does it trust you enough to take care of yourself, not only does it believe that you're capable of being a strong, independent mare who can handle things on her own, not only does he think that you're still a child that needs babysitters to keep an eye on her, and not only has she basically admitted that you're too weak to fight on your own, that you're a pathetic little weakling who needs somebody to save her all the time, and that you're a damsel in distress. But now you found out this guy lied to you. But it's okay, because he is a man, and he is supportive, so thus this kissing scene isn't destructive or insulting at all. It's romantic. No, it ain't! It's insulting to the characters, it's insulting to Twilight. My god, are you even a fan, reality check? I would expect this from Mike because he hates the show. I'm okay with Mike pulling this crap off because he hates the series. But you are claiming to be a fan of the show, and you write the shit! This is why you're a worse writer than Maiken. Because Maiken, he's honest with his hate. You, sir, are a lying asshole! In the next chapter, School hears Rainbow Dash and Thunderlane alone in a room together with only the music, keeping them silent. The door is locked. They're playing close, and they're just ballroom dancing. I know I sound disappointed, but right now a clop is the only thing that can keep my attention in this fic. But hey, at this rate she learns that dancing's pretty cool, and this helps her get her cutie mark, and I suppose we're all supposed to cheer. Well, we here at the studio would cheer, but, Dinobot is asleep. Brave Star is keeping an eye outside, and I'm wondering, can I afford to spend 15 bits calling Jasper to get some Jasper Pie Pizza? I heard that's really good. I'm looking at that phone. Also, I want to make up for the fact that my boss prank called him not too long ago. Hey, I just wanted a pizza. It's not his fault he went over the top. I swear they just have no taste anymore. Trixie, Jasper's is the only pizza place in Ponyville. Like, mine's the only multi-dimensional bookstore in Ponyville. With a recording studio attached to it. And a dimensional portal. You see, this is why I'm not an analysis, guys. Because if I was, I would have to share this with them. I don't really want to share all my cool stuff with them. I hardly even know the fellas. Besides, have you met some of them? They're a little bit weird. I mean, unlike me, I'm perfectly normal. The normal Pegasus with a dimensional portal, who writes fics, who has bookshelves upon bookshelves of fics from all the planes and the dimensions, and has a poison hacker ring under his glass case. You didn't hear that last part. Later, they have a conversation, and Twilight is perfectly A-okay with talking to Celestia on a normal level about getting bodyguards to haunt her and to keep an eye on her every move and to not trust her and to sow an absence of trust. So, let me get this straight. Reality check. According to you, entrusting Twilight to save the day, bad idea. Entrusting Twilight to take care of Discord, bad idea. Entrusting Twilight to do things on her own, bad idea. Ooh, Celestia's evil. Let me write a fic about this and get it read by Dr. Wolf, even though Dr. Wolf is above that type of shit. Fine. All that, okay. But having Twilight, that's evil. All that above, that's evil. But letting her have a bodyguard and make sure that her every waking moment is never at peace and that she'll always have some sort of person watching over her shoulder 24/7 and make sure that she never has a moment's rest or has a moment's peace to herself or has any type of relaxation or can never live another life as a normal pony ever again? That's fine! Giving her a boyfriend who's just a carbon copy of her? A-okay! Fine! As long as she has a big old dick to protect her. But trusting Twilight to be a hero? No, that's just wrong. How dare Celestia think Twilight is some sort of hero or something? Pugh. Of all the nerve. You know, I bet Reality Check would watch Brony D&D and would think that Amber is perfectly right in what he did to her. Yeah, I'm still pissed off. The next chapter, the party is winding down, and I hope you people don't mind, but I'm going to quote Tom Servo for a minute. God! This ending is dragging longer than it needs to. I refuse to insult Lord Return of the King with this, because that actually had reasons. That actually had reasons for being as long as it did. Not this shit! Just end already, Reality Check! End my suffering! Put down the Mark 1 phaser, Jason. For one thing, it's not Friday the 13th. You know you're not supposed to show up yet. And two, you have it set on stun. And you people think that Lightning Bliss has a weird home. Cutie, your home is nowhere near as weird as mine. And luckily, I could say it on this channel and not have to worry about you coming after me. Because none of the analysis know I exist. And the fic ends with just Nyx curled up into a ball asleep. Oh my god. This fic sucked! It just... It boggles the mind at just how much this sucks and why it got so popular. Well, it did because Reality Check knew how to hit the masses on the sweet notes. I.e., complain about an episode that nobody likes. Give the CMC their cutie marks. Use Nyx. Hell, if he added some Celestia bashing, this thing would have been on the feature box multiple times. It would have been the top. It's so easy to manipulate people who hate, isn't it? Shut up, Connie. But I'd be lying if there wasn't other things wrong with the story. The use of the cultists just didn't go anywhere. It felt pointless. All it did was just reestablish, oh, Nyx is real. It went on far longer than it was supposed to. A story like this should only really take 10 chapters, and this went on for almost 30. 30! You'll know, I basically was just reviewing for most of the time. I don't think I could survive actually reading this crap. I didn't! I went to the Marvel stuff because that was more interesting. The characters felt weak. The dates only felt like there just to make sure that the women knew their place. It felt like it was only there just to make sure the girls remembered that they were women, they belonged in the kitchen, and the men could do everything. The use of the bodyguards told me more about Reality Check's view of the girls as heroes more than it did Celestia. He basically was saying that the girls are weak and they need protection of bodyguards to protect them. And you guys know how I feel about the main six as heroines. You know how mad I get when I see things like We Hate MLP that try to insult the girls as heroes. Because it's insulting everybody who wants to try to be a hero on their own with their own skills. It's also insulting because this practically says the girls need a man. Which they don't. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, well, what about Fall? You have Pinkie Pie and Artie fall into a relationship. That was because I wasn't attending it. I really was attending on them just being friends. But their interactions, how close they got together, and how shippy they were becoming, I just couldn't resist, really. I was going to have Cheese Sandwich make an appearance randomly, just to be random. But by the time Artie was ready to sacrifice himself for Pinkie Pie, it became a full-on love story for those two, so I figured it was just fun to do. It's just like with any of the other characters, I could not have done that if I'm not a total shipper. I also feel like this was trying to say they have to start having dates, they have to start doing this and this. Now I expect of them because they're women. For a guy that was complaining about Rainbow Dash not having a chance to do anything, he really didn't let Rainbow Dash be awesome at all in all this. And for a guy who had all these other complaints from the different episodes, he was just as guilty, if not more so, than the writers were. Also, the whole thing about Against Nightmare Night shows ignorance of how the world works. For a guy calling himself Reality Check, he doesn't realize what history tells us, or how politics work, or any of that. This whole entire thing just reeks of a guy that just wants to wank off and just makes us suffer. I probably might have another Christmas fic, or I just might give the MLP stuff a break for a week. Only a week, guys. Maybe to do some more Marvel comics and some Christmas stories. But I do think I could probably find a couple of good Christmas stories, pony-related, out there on FemFic. But I'll decide that next week. Right now, though, I think I'm going to take the ads off, if you don't mind. So, here's a cute little Spider-Man Christmas story. Now, I want to try to specify something. When I'm reading these comics, I'm going to be trying my best to read the ones that I actually own, because I feel like that's only fair. And I'm pretty positive I owned this particular holiday special. I just can't find it. It probably got lost, or I accidentally sold it, to which I'm screaming my head off right now. All it takes is presents. Lots of presents. One more! Mary Jane! A sprinkling of cheer. Yours, Tiger. And no slippers for me this year, okay? You didn't like the slippers? Peter says, now carrying a huge gigantic bags of gifts tumbling all over, as MJ gives him a kiss and walks away, dressed in a smoking hot Santa outfit. Love them, but I've got a pair now. Don't forget to get a tree on your way home. Right, see you there. A tree beckled and tinseled. The hopes and fears of all the years. As Peter walks away, he sees a shooting star in the distance. Where am I supposed to get a decent Christmas tree on Christmas Eve? What on earth? Swiftly ducks into an alley. That is what Christmas is made of. No time to be fussy about where I dumped this stuff. A shooting star that size will take a good chunk of turf when it hits. Oh, and don't forget the angels. That shooting star is in fact an angel falling down. And Peter Parker, now this is his attire, swings forth as the amazing Spider-Man. Unless your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man heads it off at the past. I don't believe it. Too weird. Sure, I've been to the ends of the galaxy, parallel dimensions, and I've seen the Hulk in sunglasses. Peter backflips and lands towards the crater, leaping down to the subway. But an angel blazing out of the sky? On Christmas? Someone's got a misplaced sense of irony. Right behind him, here's a subway coming right towards him. Of course, he moves out of the way. And of course, he slowly stops it due to the fact that it's about to rank into a hole. Smashing to a hole will exactly make a happy holiday for train passengers. My webbing is strong enough to slow it down without derailing it. Maybe, just maybe, combined with my spider strength, Peter then steps in front of the subway train, uses every ounce of his strength to push it back. Not strong enough. Does he have brakes on these things? But with a lot of effort and a lot of trial, Spider-Man manages to stop the train just in time. Stop. That's good for the train. It would have been nice if they left me some way to catch my balance. But since I'm too curious to walk away from this anyway, I think I'll go along for the fall, he says as he jumps down the pit, firing a web line to slow down his speed. What? Bad choice of words. Under the circumstances, but though it does look like there's no way I could have. Pierce's eyes look on in shock as a couple of demons carry the angel away. Perhaps you've crossed the spiritual threshold into an everlasting darkness of your soul. You're... No. As a Christmas present to all of you, I will be not making one more day gags, referencing Linkara, or talking about that story. I will not be making any of those types of jokes, because, oh Lord, it's so tempting. And besides, I'll leave it to Linkara. If he ever refused this issue, to all of my fans who are also Linkara fans, please subscribe to his Patreon to do this one. But for now, yes, Peter looks up, and seeing on a massive throne is in fact Mepthesto. And Peter can only say this. I've just been informed by my producers and my little brother that I did make a promise to not do any Linkara gags for this, so I will hold off. But you gotta understand, Spider-Man, Mephisto, one more day. Making a joke is hard. Okay, I want to make the gags so badly. Ooh, Jaxcrats, the adversary. Call me Mephisto Parker. Yes, I know who you are. I know your deepest dreams, your deepest secret fears. Gosh, aren't you the whiz kid? Behind Mephisto, the angel is chained to a implement of torture and... Okay, even for hell, I think this is a little over the top. The torture implement in question is a giant flatbed smashing machine with spikes on top, tied to a rack with a split vertical case with more spikes on the back, while the demons are right now crucifying his wings to the back, which has more spikes. I'm starting to think this is over the top. Going to tell me what's going on here, or do I have to find out the hard way? I guess if that's really an angel, you could really be the... well, maybe not. I was pleased to have a witness, But you only mock when you are too pathetic to comprehend. Hey, always glad to be of service. I repeat, people who complain about the MCU making jokes and quips should really pick up a Marvel comic sometime. Especially a Spider-Man one. Oh wait, those people who make those complaints, I know the truth. They don't read. Silence. No mere angel lies obsolete and fragile in my grip. It is the spirit of Christmas, which I now utterly destroy, and forever! Oh my god. Bad enough Mepthesto hates that certain thing that he's famous for, but now he's going to destroy Christmas? No! Spidey leaps straight towards Mepthesto. No. Is this a strange sort of skepticism? Is your pedestrian view of things so easily altered? Perhaps you have a soul to wager after all. If you excuse me 1 second. Why do you torment me, spirits? Why? What? I fell into a performance of Faust? A bet, Spider-Man. Save the angel. I will stop you. And he leaves with you, safe and free. Fail, and your soul is mine. And if Spidey don't play that game, then you may leave, and the spirit of Christmas dies. No! Okay, I'll do it. Jeez, ask a simple question. A deal, then. Save the angel. If you can. Save him from my trap. Now. And suddenly, the plane shifts into more feral torment as Spidey swings off. Hey, what happened to Raise It Go? No hindrance. No warning. SM. What could be fairer? Spike swings towards the overly ridiculous death trap. Couldn't you afford more modern equipment, laughing boy? Peter says, grabbing onto the slimy spikes, pushing against it with all his might. Even the crudest contraptions may be fairly effective. I prefer the cruder old ways. Do your arms tire, Spider-Man? Do you feel victory slipping from your grip? Shut up! Your strength is ravaged, my doubt. My will is perfect, unyielding. Fool. I make no wagers where the outcome is in doubt. It can't be. My webbing snapped! Peter finds himself swinging around, blasting off, and I've lost. He's gone. Now I believe we have a bargain. I don't suppose you got 2 out of 3. To what end? Nothing would change. Mephisto would still reign victorious, and you would still suffer for eternity. Ah! So cold. Pretty cold. Turn it off. Turn it off! Whining doesn't impress me, Spider-Man. I thought you saw more character. Then again, as a whiner, you're an irritant. Not worth the effort I've expended on you. Your soul, take it with my blessing. Only with soul and body attack can you appreciate the full scope of my triumph. The angel was the angel of peace, of hope, of all things embodied in Christmas. With one stroke I have slaughtered hope. Now let the world crumble into darkness and despair. Slowly he opens a portal back to the surface and begins to fly up. Let every human pursue his own greed above all else, at the cost of love and mercy. Then, every soul shall fall to Mepthesto. Yeah? What about the heels? Humor in the face of disaster, Spider-Man. I knew you would be entertaining. Let me survey my kingdom. No, it's not possible. You then start seeing the songs of hope, Christmas carols playing over, and a song of all peace and love. There's some kindness, sharing in the world, but I killed! Right behind him, the angel of Christmas appears. Did you not get those things from me, Mephisto? I draw my power, my whole existence from them. You lie! As do you. Do I? What would you be without them? Even you were infected by the goodness they bring to the season. Why else would you, unasked, unbidden, return a soul? To make him suffer! He throws Spiderman into the hands of the angel. He would have suffered more without it. Whatever your reasons, you showed mercy. No. If some roads are paved with good intentions, where might bad intentions lead? Shouldn't we go after him? No. This ritual is older than you or I. Let him be until next year. This is a regular thing with you? In some form, yes. Since time began until time ends, darkness swallows at light, but light breaks free. What's happening? And suddenly, Peter finds himself teleported back home. A new skin for the ancient ceremony. Huh? How? You lost your key, Rover. Just crawl in the window. Oh, Mary Jane! No, it wasn't that. MJ, I think I may believe in angels. Are you sweet? You forgot my tree, didn't you? Well, that is... Oh, well, let's go in. You don't know the kind of night I've had. Oh, Peter. Isn't... What? It's beautiful. And standing on the little table is a little Christmas tree. Mary Jane! What? I take back every crack I ever made about the slippers. This Christmas tree says to fine. Boy, you don't know the half of it. I love it when the romantic you breaks out from that Mr. Practical mask. Come here. Let me give you your present early. Now, where did that come from? Peter says, taking the full-on kiss from MJ. Somewhere Mephisto rants and curses, but his screams go unheard on this peaceful Christmas night. Once more he's been offered redemption. Once more he rejected it, cast himself again into a pit of lies and pride. But nothing is lost, and there will be next year, and after that, down the years. One day he may be redeemed, even the Lord of Evil may be saved. If he but speaks the word is mercy, the word is love. And that is what Christmas is made of.